Chapter 7, Part B, Form, Meaning, and Use 1, Indefinite and Definite Articles. Let's think critically about meaning and use. We have 4 sentences here, each of them followed by 2 sentences, and we need to determine which one is the correct statement. We have a manifesto is a public statement of ideas. A, this sentence describes what a manifesto is, or B, this sentence identifies a specific manifesto. A manifesto is a public statement of ideas. A manifesto, that is a sentence that describes what a manifesto is. It describes it, it defines it. Now let's look at number 2. I'm looking for a new cell phone, but I don't know what kind to buy. A, the speaker has a specific phone in mind. B, the speaker doesn't have a specific phone in mind. I'm looking for a new cell phone, but I don't know what kind to buy. In this case, the speaker doesn't have a specific phone in mind, just needs a phone, one of many kinds of phones that are out in the market. Number 3, I looked at a very affordable apartment yesterday. A, the speaker has a specific apartment in mind. B, the listener has a specific apartment in mind. The speaker and the listener, because this is a conversation, so there's some information that both people may have in a conversation. Going back to the sentence, I looked at a very affordable apartment yesterday. Who has a specific apartment in mind? The speaker or the listener? The speaker is the one who has the apartment in mind. The listener probably hasn't heard about it, but may hear about it in the rest of the conversation. Number 4, if you go out tonight, don't forget to lock the door. The door, the door, the door. A, the speaker and the listener have a specific door in mind. B, only the speaker has a specific door in mind. If you go out tonight, don't forget to lock the door. In this case, both the speaker and the listener have a specific door in mind. It's probably the door to the house. It's a commonly understood door. That's different from number 3, where the speaker was the only one who knew about the apartment. Now let's look at an overview of articles with count nouns and non-count nouns. You know about singular count nouns, right? We can use a before a count noun that begins with a consonant. It's a story about small-town America. You can also use the definite article. Which story is it? It's the story of my childhood in small-town America. A specific story. Now, when we have plural count nouns, we don't use a because a means one. So, null or none. There are policemen downstairs. What's going on? If we want to specify, then we can use the word the. That's a definite article. Even the policemen have no idea what happened. Non-count nouns. Don't use an article in front of that. At least don't use a or an. So that's why there's a null right before the word advice. He really needs advice if he's going to succeed. He needs advice. I give him advice, but he never listens to the advice I give him. Which advice? The advice that I give him. Maybe he listens to somebody else's advice, but not mine. The advice, definite article, because it is modified by the relative clause I give him. Articles and other determiners are used to introduce, describe, and classify common nouns. They come immediately before a noun or before an adjective plus a noun. For example, a story, an interesting story. Of course, we use a before story, but we use n before interesting because it starts with a vowel sound. An interesting story. Singular count nouns must always occur with a, an, or the, or other determiners, such as this, my, or possessive like Tom's. They cannot occur alone. For example, if you say, where is car? That is incorrect. You have to say, where is my car? Where is your car? Where is the car? Where is a car? It has to have a determiner. Singular count nouns always have to have a determiner or an article. Plural count nouns and all non-count nouns can occur alone with the or with other determiners, but not with a or an. For example, this, my, and Tom's, those are examples of other determiners. Indefinite articles, a and no article, are used to classify a noun. They're used to say what kind of thing the noun is. The definite article, the, is used to identify or pick out a particular noun. It can often answer the question, which one or which ones. Dr. Lee is a professor. Really? What kind? Dr. Lee is the professor I like most. That tells which one. All right, let's see. What else can we tell you about articles? Indefinite articles with non-specific nouns. Singular count nouns. I heard an interesting story while I was at a cafe last night. So if I say this sentence, you, as a listener, probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to tell you. All right, so the listener in this conversation doesn't know what story the speaker heard or what cafe he heard it in, but if they continue the conversation, they may hear and talk more about it. So notice the use of indefinite. An interesting story, cafe. Plural count nouns. I need to buy new shoes, no article, and socks, no article, before our next training session. So those are shoes and socks in general. Now, neither the speaker nor the listener has specific shoes or socks in mind. Just need to go and buy some shoes in general, socks in general. No article or determiner. Non-count nouns. I don't have time to play tennis with you today. Notice that neither one of those nouns has an article in front of it. The indefinite articles a and an, or no article, null, are used when the person you're speaking to, the listener, doesn't know the specific noun you're talking about. In some cases, the noun is not specific for the speaker either. Indefinite articles are often used to introduce nouns when they're first mentioned. I have a car. My car is red. Do you have a pen? Yes, you can use the pen on the table. A and an are never used with plural count nouns or non-count nouns. Remember that. However, some and any often act like indefinite articles with plural count nouns or non-count nouns. Remember the sentence, I need to buy new shoes and socks? You can also say, I need to buy some new shoes and socks. Remember the sentence, I don't have time to play tennis? You can also say, I don't have any time to play tennis. Now, what about the definite article with specific nouns? You and the person you're talking to know the specific noun you're talking about when it's been mentioned before. For example, we attended a lecture on assertiveness in the workplace. The lecture was required for all employees. I've had some interesting discussions with my advisor about my future. The conversations, that means the discussions, have really helped me. A synonym also becomes specific. Discussions equals conversations. You and the person you're speaking to know the specific noun you're talking about when you can see, hear, or easily identify it. For example, the traffic on Main Street has never been worse. Which traffic? on Main Street is a prepositional phrase which modifies traffic. That's the traffic that I'm talking about. So that's why I use the definite article the. The man who is signing the books is Frank Calloway. So, do we know which man? Is it a definite man? Yes, it's the one who is signing the books. So the relative clause modifies the man and makes it definite. Do you see the icons on the screen? Click on the little folder. Okay, we're both looking at something, probably at a computer screen. So we can both see it and identify it. Notice that a prepositional phrase, a relative clause, or an adjective may identify the noun. We also consider definite if it's general knowledge. For example, all employees attended a course on business ethics. The instructor gave a quiz on values in the workplace. Do we know which instructor? You can easily infer that the instructor is the instructor of that particular course on business ethics. So the definite article the is used here because it's general knowledge. All right, we'll use the if it's specific shared knowledge. The boss wants to meet us in the conference room at 10 o'clock. Do we know which guy, which girl, which lady? The boss? Probably we all have the same one. So we know. And how about the conference room? Do we know which place? Probably we know which room we usually have conferences in. So the listener and speaker share same information about their office. We can use the word the for both of these. We can also use the word the if it's a familiar noun. I had to see the doctor after I went to the gym. So names of certain people like the doctor, and places like the gym, and certain things like close the door are easily understood. If it's unique, that means there's only one, then we can use the word the definite article. For example, I tripped and scraped my knee on the ground. Do we know what that place is? Sure, everyone knows where the ground is, so we can use the definite article here. Sign your name at the bottom of the page. All right, so if somebody gives you a document to sign, you know where the bottom of the page is. There's only one of them. All right, let's recap. The definite article the or the is how we pronounce it before consonant sounds, and the is how we pronounce it before vowel sounds. This article is used when both you and the person you are speaking to, the listener, know the specific noun you are talking about. The noun is specific because you can both identify it. Some examples of familiar nouns include the airport, the bank, the beach, the doctor, the government, the gym, the library, the mall, the movies, the office, the police, the radio, the store. So we often hear, I'm going to the bank after I see the doctor. You can say, I'm going to the gym to work out, and then I'm going to the library for a few hours to study, and then I'll go to the mall to buy some socks, and then I'll go to the movies with my friend. And tomorrow I'll go to the office, and I hope the police don't come, and if I hear about that, I might hear about it on the radio. So those are some familiar nouns that we use the. Some examples of unique nouns include the earth, the environment, the sun, the top, the middle, the bottom, the beginning, the end, the remaining, the rest. These are unique. There's only one of them in the context. Also, superlatives and ordinal numbers can also make a noun unique. The biggest problem, that's only one problem. The highest salary, that means the only one that is the maximum, so the highest. The first time, there's only one first time. The second planet. Some proper nouns use a definite article, and these are ones that you need to memorize, like the Philippines, the United Nations, the King of Jordan, the Indian Ocean, And for definite articles with certain proper nouns, please go to the back of your book and see page A17. And for definite article with familiar and unique nouns, also see page A17 at the end of the book.